What's going on, everybody? It's me back again for another video. We are here for this week's Monday reading. How are you guys? How was your weekend? Yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. Let me know how your guys' weekends were in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about last week's reading, how they kind of manifested as you move through the week. And with that being said, we're going to get started with another week of readings, starting with Monday. We're going to start with just kind of how the energy was basically flowing in through this week and just how it moves in from Sunday, maybe really late Saturday, Sunday to Monday, and then kind of going on to that Tuesday, maybe very early Wednesday, but it just kind of depends on how your week is set up. But for the most part, it's basically centered around Monday and just kind of that energy flowing about in there. That being said, we're going to pull 3 cards today. Just kind of a flow of energy, not quite past, present, and future, but just kind of a transition of the energy as we are going in through this week. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around because we are going to start pulling cards. I already had these cards pretty well shuffled, but I always like to just kind of shuffle while I'm talking to further imbue that energy and just my intention and just let the cards know exactly what we're doing. We're talking about the energy starting into this week, and I just want to make sure that my cards know that so they know exactly what to be picking up on. Make sure we're not going back and doing energies from last week, or I want to do a full other like personal reading or reading for someone specifically. We're just kind of reading the basic general energy. So that being said, let's pull our first card. Okay. So what we have here is the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles is often dealing with some sort of recognition being received from somebody. A lot of times it has to do with a very creative or artistic recognition, but it is the Suit of Pentacles, so it's very earthy. It's a very physical skill or accomplishment, something that has been done, something that you are capable of being recognized for. It's a very specific like act or a talent or an artistic pursuit. Maybe you've been writing or doing painting and posting it on the internet and you haven't been getting a whole lot of traction, but this week you're realizing that there's a little bit of an uptick. Even if it's not these massive views, there's just kind of this baseline. You see more detailed engagement from the audience that you've already cultivated. You're noticing more people commenting, more people pointing it out. So that's a pretty good sign for the energy going into this week, just like this little bit of boost in engagement from not just people online, but just in your community in general. So that's something to keep in mind. That's a pretty good basic way to start off this week. Just keep in mind that you want to keep your head level. You don't want to get a big head about it. People like the things that you do for the way that you do them. They don't need you to change. You're getting recognized as is, something you've already done, something you currently are. So don't feel like you need to do this massive boost now that you're being recognized or now that you're being appreciated, maybe even deeper. Maybe it's a romantic relationship, not just some like artistic pursuit, but somebody you're living with realizes, hey, you do the dishes all the time and I never really say thank you, but I want to appreciate that. So this is admiration and recognition for acts that have been done. So hopefully that'll get you started on kind of this good energy, good vibes moving into this week. Now let's see where the energy is heading. Or maybe any potential obstacles, or maybe some good news, just kind of as we're moving into the beginning of the week. What's something to look out for? That's a good way to phrase this card, the thing to look out for. Okay, so we are moving from the Three of Pentacles into the Five of Pentacles. And these cards, for me, actually have a lot of very similar elements, just the darkness and kind of this, just kind of this basic color scheme. You're getting a lot of stone, you're getting a lot of harsh color. There's this sense of the pentacles being etched into some form of often like religiously coded building, so there's a lot of similarity. So I'm not noticing a huge drastic change in the energy as we kind of move into the week, but look for subtle shifts. Look for subtle shifts. I'm seeing this as hints of things that are potentially going to be greater problems as you move forward in your artistic or just kind of basic business physical careers. I'm not noticing that anything massive is going to change, but I think you're going to be Like I said, it's the subtle energy of recognition to maybe noticing some more potential hurdles later down the line. For instance, going along with your artistic engagement, there could be an uptick in a very specific type of complaint. Maybe the way in which you interact with your community. You're noticing more and more people commenting on a very specific way in which you come off, and people are saying they don't like that. And that's not to say it's going to completely derail your progress, but you're going to start notice as things are starting to swell and grow in engagement, you're going to start seeing trends, you're going to start seeing patterns. That's not to say that one specific thing is going to like come out and like deck you in the face and like ruin all your plans, but you're going to start noticing trends if you're paying attention. You need to make sure you're looking for these trends because they will be there, and if you don't address them, they have the potential to be a greater problem down the line. So you just want to look for how are the patterns and the things that I am interacting with and the people that I'm interacting with and the way that I am creating my work and engaging with my communities. What are the healthy parts? What are the it's essentially like pruning a plant. Your plant's starting to grow, you have a lot of new foliage, there's some leaves budding, but you're noticing some of the lower leaves are starting to turn yellow or maybe brown, and it's just making sure to like cut those off soon or addressing the problem of what's causing them to get yellow. Is it a disease? Is it something you're worried about spreading? Is there this kind of negative energy culminating around you that could later create a problem? Because what you're trying to avoid is that disease spreading and then eventually having to take drastic measures, cutting off a whole branch as opposed to just trimming off one or two of the leaves. The plant's not even really going to notice. There's an opportunity for subtle change here, and I think that's what these energies really want us to pick up on as we're just kind of beginning into this week. All right. That being said, what's kind of an outcome? What are we looking to move forward for? This is kind of our overall guidance card, just the last card in the reading for the beginning of the week. Now that we have this idea of growth and looking for patterns, what's some advice that we can give? All right, so here is our final card. We have the Page of Swords. Swords is a very different suit from Pentacles, as opposed to just being this very earthy, material, action-based card. It's this very intellectual. It has to do with the mind. It's philosophy. It's things that you can rationalize. So we're getting in our heads a little bit about the success we're building and maybe the negativity or just the possibility of things that could stand to be corrected later on down the line. So it's the page, so it's very juvenile. It has to do with new things, new growth, new difficulties or hurdles cropping up. So that's very prescient for this card to be showing up, because the page really has to do with all this new energy and its swords, so it has to do with the ideas and the ways in which you are thinking about these things. So what I'm getting from this is that you really need to be keeping an open mind as you're moving more towards these goals. Maybe there's something that immediately popped up when I said something about hurdles or obstacles popping up that you already were like, I know exactly what it is. And maybe you do know exactly what it is. It could be a very obvious problem, but you're instantly jumping to a solution, like, oh, as I'm getting more popular in this, there's going to be more naysayers, and I need to do a better job of blocking them out immediately. And that could be the solution, but what this card, I believe, is telling us that we need to keep in mind is that we have to be considerate of the other options. Maybe it's nice to just put up these really strong boundaries and not let anybody test you, not let anybody cross these lines, which is generally a good thing. But that being said, if you were putting these walls too high and too far out from you, you could be blocking off the potential for really helpful criticism, where some of these people are not always looking to tear you down, they're actually looking to build you up, or even if they're just like neutral, admitting a negative reaction, you can learn from that and grow, and then eventually bring these people into your corner, so that way you have one more ally in your pursuit and your vision to make your goals stronger. So yeah, I think that is the basic gist for just kind of this early week reading. Make sure, first of all, congratulations on all the progress you're making. I think there's a lot of room for really good growth, or just new things, or maybe you're getting more comfortable in something. And as you're kind of transitioning to this new phase. Again, make sure you're watching out for any potential trappings coming up that are specific to the way in which you have grown, and just keep an open mind about it. Look for solutions. Maybe ask somebody you trust if they have any solutions, or if they have any ideas for how you can fix this problem, or if it even is a problem. That could be another thing. Maybe you're misidentifying the problem and you need to bring in another person's perspective. But yeah, just listen to yourself, be open to new ideas, and I think there's a lot of room for really positive growth. That being said, that is the Monday reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had a good weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.